Welcome to Tabletop Gaming Guild. Today we'll be unboxing Western Legend, designed by Ephraim McCormick and published by Colossal Games. First off, this is a Kickstarter, so there's a lot of content. We'll start with the base game and then get into some of the extras. Initially, the art style kind of makes me think of Colt Express, but more towards the realistic end of the spectrum as opposed to caricatures. And these little build-it-yourself display cases, such as this general store, kind of adds to that aesthetic. This is a big sandbox game, so understandably the rulebook's on slightly on the longer end, but doesn't look too bad. I was expecting the board to be a little bigger though. You got some oversized custom dice. They're pretty light. They don't seem like terribly great quality, but they're easily legible, so they're alright. Oh, we got some custom minis, but let's look at those in a second. Let's look at the standard stuff first. We got some standard cubes and cylinders. We got the colored rings for identifying your player. Extra batteries are always a plus. You got some nice plastic resources for the gold. They're not what I call deluxe, but they'll do. Double-sided player. It's just a lot of information to have to reference, but it's to be expected in this kind of game. Oh, that's interesting. They must have got some complaints. I guess the cards are underneath the insert, so a lot of people probably complain there's no cards, and they had to put this little note saying, yes, the cards are there. Punch board is a nice thickness, punches out easily. Player boards are thick paper, so they're not great. They look all right. Let's take a look at these minis. It looks like you have one for each character, and then some for the bad guys as well, perhaps. They're not intensely detailed, but they still look really nice. I bet these would be a pain to paint, but they would look phenomenal afterwards. Sorry if the focus is a little soft. Hopefully it still gives you an idea of what these look like. Think about minis from late 90s, early 2000s, but better quality plastic so they don't bend or melt if you keep them in too much of a warm environment. Let's look at these secret cards. Okay, we got some money cards. I personally preferred them slightly bigger, but a lot of people will probably disagree with me on that one. We have the poker cards for combat. It looks like each one has a special power. I usually don't like poker too much in my board games, but we'll see how it goes on this one. Okay, it looks like we have multiple gold cards for each character. I'm guessing they're going to be semi-randomized. For example, like draw two and pick one. But we'll see when we play the game. The art's just enough to be attractive without being distracting, so that's nice. It looks like there's 4 for each character, and they're slightly varied from character to character. Okay, so here's the actual poker cards. This is a legitimately full deck of cards. It looks like they're multi-purpose, so you have the actual card functions, but you also have options for using them as action cards. Next, we have what looks like event cards that are triggered by taking specific actions. So if a player takes those actions, it immediately trigger the story. Then we have the player cards with the starting locations and player powers. Just bear in mind, I haven't played this game and I haven't read the rules yet. I'm just going based on this unboxing and looking at the materials, so I could be right or wrong about how some of these components are used. They certainly give you a lot at every type of cards. We got more event cards, we got, looks like more money cards, and here's a bunch of items. I'm guessing these have prices on them, so I'm guessing these are going to go in that general store once we have that built. And then we got some more item cards. These look like special item cards. They're double-sided, so I'm guessing you can upgrade them or improve them somehow. So that's the base components for Western Legends, but that is not all. We have some additional content to look at, starting with Fistful of Extras, a clear Clint Eastwood reference. So there's actually quite a bit of content in this box. Quite a few cards. So let's look at those cards first. So we got a bunch more special items, some more common items, as well as gold cards for 6 new characters. 6 new characters. That's a lot for this little expansion. Got some sticker sheets. I'm guessing this is to modify something from the base game. And then a nice bag, but it's really small. I worry it'd be hard to get things in and out of this bag. And exactly what I like to see for an expansion. A 1-page, in this case double-sided, which is fine, rulebook. Okay, and then we got some large cards as well, including a lot more story events. A couple more, so some jokers to add to your poker deck. And some cards to randomize the bandits, I guess. As well as player character cards. And on top of that, for this little expansion, you also have 6 new minis. I don't know what else is coming in the other little add-ons, but I get a feeling there is no bandits, no legendary figures that you won't be able to play in this game. And that's it for this stuffed box, but we still have another box, which is the good, the bad, and the handsome. This designer is definitely a Clint Eastwood fan. The screen is definitely getting crowded, so let's make a little space here. This add-on seems much smaller than the last one, and the rulebook seems to reflect that. It's pretty sparse. There's just a little bit of additional. It looks like mostly just additional card. That'll give us a pretty thick event deck. We got 3 new characters on this one. Didn't see any minis though to come with it, so maybe they were included in the base game, or they just are similar enough that I figured it could still be double as a different character. Who knows? So that's all the components I got for Western Legends and 2 of the expansions. That's quite a bit. Let's start getting this cleaned up and put away. Hopefully you enjoyed that. It really looks like a sandbox game with a lot of options. It has a lot of different characters you can play on. It looks nice. Some of the component quality, I'm used to seeing higher quality in Kickstarters in general, but this was also not nearly as exorbitantly expensive as many other Kickstarters have been. So, yeah, it's not a minis focus game. The focus is seems to be on the mechanics and giving you a good game, not spending hundreds of dollars on having a really pretty detailed mini that you barely use. So, I'm really happy with this. Excited to try it out. As always, I'm nervous with anything with poker style play, but we'll see how that goes. It seems like it's got good ways of mitigating any luck, so we'll see. There's a lot to put away though, and I'm running out of things to say. Well, I hope you're interested in Western Legends after seeing this. It definitely looks like a lot, but it looks fun. Well, thank you for watching. As always, you can catch us here on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, anywhere podcasts can be found, and many other social medias. And please don't forget to like and subscribe.